we will move to the second keynote of the day by Dr. Goutam Paul. Dr. Goutam Paul is a cryptographic maestro. He's currently heading the Cryptology and Security Research Unit at Indian Statistical Institute and has also received the Young Scientist Award from National Academy of Sciences. Dr. Paul.
Argue that even with that knowledge, the attacker is not able to break the algorithm. So that is the criteria behind cryptographic security. Okay. So security models in cryptography, I will not go into the mathematical details. I will just discuss from the application point of view. So one is called unconditional security and perfect secrecy. That is a theoretical concept, but we can go close to that, right? We cannot achieve that, which is information theoretic security. The second one is called computational security. That means it is hard to solve in a computer. So it is based on some hard problem. And provable security. That means you prove that breaking the system is equivalent to some, say 2 to the power something, right? So that means if you perform an exhaustive search, you need to at least search those many cases. So that's another approach. Okay. Now there are crypto goals other than encryption that I already mentioned in one of the initial slides, that there are 4 goals of cryptography. So authentication and integrity, that is performed by hash functions, right? Because hash compresses the data and it creates a signature. It is very difficult to create collisions in cryptographic hash functions, right? So second is non-repudiation, that is done using digital signatures, in which you cannot deny your previous commitment, and public key validation can be done using a digital certificate that you all use in your standard implementation. Okay, so coming back to IEEE 802.11, right? So we know that it defines MAC and physical layer protocols for implementing in wireless LAN, and there are many versions. Not going to discuss that. So there are many standards for Wi-Fi versions also. Now I'll come to the web WPA a little bit because that's interesting from crypto point of view. So IEEE 802.11b specifies a simple security protocol which is called WEB. The full form of WEB is wired equivalent privacy. That means you have the same level of security as you have a dedicated wired connection, but in the wireless domain where the data is broadcasted, or at least it has a radius of communication so that attackers can have easy access to the data. Okay. So earlier it used to use the 24-bit IP, 40-bit secret key, or 64-bit effective RC4 secret key, and later on it was replaced by WPA. Now there are 3 versions of WPA, as you know, WPA 1, 2 and 3. In WPA 1, RC4 was used. In WPA 2 and 3, it has been replaced by AES cipher. So, as part of my PhD work many years ago, I happened to break some of the protocols using RC4. So, both web WPA and TLS 1.1, 1.2. Because of the repercussions of which IETF had declared it deprecated in TLS 1.3. Okay, so coming to TLS, which is a successor of secure socket layer protocol. By the way, all of you are using TLS, right? As a successor of SSL in all your implementations, like any transport layer protocol you are using. So, do you know who is the inventor of TLS or SSL? Participants here? Okay, so there is a cryptographer called El-Gamal. Okay, El-Gamal, there is an encryption name by the name of that cryptographer. It's a public key crypto system, not standardized of course, but it is a good crypto system like RSA. So Tahir El-Gamal is an Egyptian cryptographer who is inventor of the SSL protocol and the first version of TLS protocol. Is called the father of that. So that's interesting from cryptography point of view. And there are a lot of protocols that use TLS. So the security in TLS is based on completely by symmetric key cryptography. The privacy is ensured by that. Okay. And the identity of the communicating party, as we know that the parties initially we discussed that before any communication the parties have to validate each other as the authentic sender and receiver. That is done using some public key cryptography, right? And the message integrity, that is the third goal of crypto system we discussed, the data integrity or message integrity, so that data is not changed, that is validated by some MAC protocol which prevents data loss during the communication. So we see the authentication and encryption algorithm in TLS, so it's pretty broad. So the block cipher is AES. There are two modes, Galois counter mode and ciphertext feedback counter mode. Then there are some other cipher, stream cipher, RC4 as I was mentioning as part of SSL 2, 3 and TLS 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, but it is deprecated in TLS 1.3. Is replaced by actually Chacha 20 Poly 1305 in TLS 1.3. That's the design by Dan Bernstein, famous cryptographer. Okay. Currently we are doing some cryptanalysis on Chacha and its sister algorithm which is called Salsa. Both are designed by Dan Bernstein. So hopefully the results will be out in a few months. So that might have an impact on the internet security that uses Chacha algorithm in TLS 1.3. Okay, then this HMAC, SHA-1, SHA-256, these are MAC algorithms in order to ensure data integrity. Fine. So the crypto world, if we summarize, right, we know the symmetric private paradigm is there for encryption, asymmetric public paradigm is there for encryption as well as for key exchange, for digital signature, for digital certificate, for public infrastructure, etc. And symmetric private key has two paradigms, block cipher like AES, stream cipher like RC4 or Chacha, which is used in TLS 1.3. Now, because of Shor's quantum algorithms, which is which came in 1994, asymmetric and public key, most of the asymmetric and public key crypto systems are dead, which all of you are aware, right? So the point is, these block cipher and stream ciphers have become unusable. So the key exchange algorithms of standard public key cipher like RSA key exchange or Diffie-Hellman key exchange or elliptic curve key exchange, those have been replaced by quantum key distribution algorithm. So QKD uses quantum mechanics in order to encode classical bits into quantum states of photons or electrons, and they transmit it through quantum channel, which can be a free space channel or a fiber optic channel, and the receiver will decode it. And finally, after the end of the QKD protocol, the sender and the receiver will share a classical bit stream, and that classical bit stream will be used for future communication, right? So that is the goal. So QKD, entire thing is not quantum, only the key exchange part is quantum, but after that they switch to symmetric protocol, which is still secure in the quantum domain. So any symmetric and private key algorithm, right, is secure in quantum domain. There are no known attacks so far. So that's why QKD is a good substitute for public key method. But there is one problem, is that this QKD is not yet scalable, right? So you see that China is claiming that they have performed QKD from ground to satellite, right? In fact, from Beijing to Shanghai, they are having a 1,000-kilometer long channel to transmit QKD. In fact, a lot of other countries are reporting as well. Australia has achieved that. In India, I think few hundred kilometers have been achieved by Physical Research Laboratory, Ahmedabad. So, Indian defense is trying to have its own QKD system by fiber optic cables. But the problem is that as we know, the quantum noise is a problem, quantum memory is a problem. So maybe it will take another 20 years or more before we have the actual QKD having connected to our real network. Because of that, couple of years ago, US recognized it and they started emphasizing on post-quantum algorithms. So those are classical algorithms that can run on classical computers but can give security against a quantum attackers. So even if the attacker has quantum computer or supercomputer or high performance computer, whatever combination, still the simple classical algorithm running in simple PC and laptop will be secure against those adversaries having lots of resources. So that is the goal of all post-quantum algorithm. So if we can see the NIST PQC standardization process, right? So though the standardization came into the news from 2022, but actually standardization had begun in 2016. So you see that how long does it take to make something standard? Long 8 years, and still it is not yet fully standardized. So in 2016, there were 82 submissions from all over the world. Many cryptographer team had submitted that. Then in round 2, after filtering, after finding weakness, only 26 candidates had survived. After 3 years of cryptanalysis by all cryptographers of all countries around the world. Then in 2020, 7 candidates survived. 2022, 4 candidates survived. And in 2024, August 13, they have declared 3 standards: Crystal Kyber, Crystal Kyber as a key encapsulation mechanism, which can be used for encryption, and Crystal Dilithium and Sphinx as digital signature algorithm. Falcon they have not yet announced, but it is in the news that very soon, in a few months, they are going to add Falcon also to the PQC standardization portfolio. So we will have 4 algorithms. The ones which are below, they were very close competitor. They survived up to round 4. So they will be listed by NIST as alternative PQC algorithms. Like those who do not want to use standard algorithms, they may customize some version of the algorithms that survived up to round 4. So the question now is that, yes, we do not have to worry about QKD because quantum technology is still not that matured. Quantum internet, many people are having this buzzword, in many European countries are having a lot of projects in quantum internet and stuff like that. Even Japan also has started their national quantum internet mission. But in my view, that is still many years to go before we replace our existing system. So PQC definitely is going to be used. In fact, United States government has declared a mandate that by 2030, all the companies, whether it is a public company or private company in their nation, have to switch to PQC. Okay. So as you can see, the standardization has taken long 8 years. So definitely replacement will also take many years. That's why they have given time up to 2030. And of course, after that announcement, many governments in Europe and Asia has also taken note of it. So the government of India is also now thinking about replacing lot of key exchange implementations that are there in our nation by PQC. So the Department of Telecommunication, Government of India has started the process of standardization of PQC and PQC migration in particular. So not only PQC, because standard PQC implementation will be available anyway, right? So, as open source implementations are there. But how to migrate to PQC from your classical algorithm? How to do the interface, right, in different network layers. So that needs a lot of effort. So that is currently going on in the Indian context. So with that, I would like to end my talk with a philosophical note that the most secret thing of all kind is that if you stay silent, right? So in Bhagavad Gita there is a verse which says that of secret things, I am silence. So if you don't communicate, you don't need security. Probably in future, maybe using quantum technology, if you can think the intended receiver can get the message. So you don't need communication over a physical channel, but that's still a long way to come. Till that time, we need our protocols, we need our standardization, we need our migration, and that's it. Okay. So any question or comment?